Yellow. What would you be serving up on your plate if you were told that for the next 24 hours you could only consume yellow food? No other colours, just yellow. Yes, it is time for another 24-hour food challenge as suggested by you lovely viewers. Very much appreciate how much you like to torture me. Yes, today I am only going to be eating yellow food. Everything is going to be yellow, no matter how easy or difficult that may be. Will I be able to get through the day eating more than just cheese? That is yet to be seen. Will these kind of food colour challenges get more and more difficult the further down the rainbow we get? That is also yet to be seen. Anyway, it is time to get stuck into some yellow, so let's go. So we are starting off this incredibly yellow day with a little bit of a yellow smoothie. Granted, it's kind of a pastel custardy yellow compared to the shade of the other foods we'll be eating today, but we're still gonna call it yellow. Cheers. Okay guys, it is roughly that time of the afternoon where I am being informed by my stomach that I require some kind of nourishment. I think we're going to go and make yellow meal number 2 of today's challenge. My yellow breakfast smoothie did actually tide me over a bit longer than I expected, which is good because when you do these kind of 24-hour eating challenges, you can often just end up feeling hungry, restricted, and very bored of your diet, even for just 24 hours. So I think we're going to make something egg-based, as eggs and, well, egg yolks really are a wonderfully natural yellow food stuff. So let's go do that. Sadly, we're going to just be using some kind of yellow peppers in place of lots of other delicious things we could have, such as chorizo, herbs, and other lovely vegetables, but let's see what we can do. I really love eating these peppers normally. The red ones are my favorite, don't ask me why, but yellow is my favorite color, so as part of today's yellow challenge, that will be no problem. Normally I would eat these raw and I would just kind of snack on them because they are very sweet and crunchy, but I think I'm actually going to cook these into a kind of yellow pepper omelette just now. So let's get on it. This is probably a bad time to tell you that I've been practicing omelettes a lot recently because I will most likely mess this one up now. Okay, so this isn't quite a water on Mars level discovery, but it's pretty close. Francesco left some Pringles from yesterday, and Pringles are definitely yellow. Okay, so our omelette is just about cooked through. It's cooked on the bottom, still a little bit of wobble on top. It's about time for us to fold. This is where it usually all goes wrong. Can she do it? Can she do it? Can she do it? Yes! Yes! So it certainly isn't the prettiest of foods, and it's certainly not the prettiest of omelettes. But it is yellow with even more yellow things inside. Just going to let it gently finish cooking and then I'm going to plate it up and eat. Meanwhile, back to the important things. And with that, yellow meal number 2 is ready. Ugly omelette, it's go time. So as you can see, she is kind of white and fluffy in the middle, but definitely yellow on the outside. And she tastes good. So I'm going to finish up my lunch just now. I will see you a bit later in the afternoon to show you what today's baking and recipe will be for you guys. As ever, let me know if you guys were doing this challenge, what would you be eating? So I think it's about snack time now. And on our very yellow snack menu, we have this lemon poppy seed tart. Honestly, tell me I don't have the bougiest snacks of any YouTuber you know. So I actually made this tart yesterday. I was just kind of taking some pictures for it for the blog, hence why it's kind of artfully arranged at the moment. I know I don't normally treat you guys as well as this, but I am today. So this is basically a kind of spiced short crust pastry. There are also some poppy seeds through it. Because lemon and poppy seed muffins are so classic and so good, but also quite limited. So I thought I would kind of poppy seed up the crust. The only problem is it has given it this kind of grey shade, which doesn't look too great on camera right now, but I can promise you it tastes delicious. And this is just a baked lemon custard, so ridiculously easy to make, but looks so fancy. Would seriously recommend it. As always, with the baking in this kind of one color 24-hour challenge thing, the recipe for this lovely yellow bake will be in the description box below. Thank you. Okay, lovely people, it is officially time for our very yellow dinner, and nothing sprung to mind with quite the zeal of anything other than macaroni cheese. And something destroying itself, apparently. As you probably know, Francesco, who I live with, is a big man on pasta. In fact, he has a whole business based on pasta, which I will link below if you're interested in such delicious things. So I am probably about to offend him and his entire heritage with this British classic, but here we are. So I kind of love the discourse around mac and cheese. It's one of those dishes in the foodie world that is just incredibly dividing. No matter where you are from in the world or how you grew up, everyone seems to make this a different way, and no one really seems to ever have a definitive answer as to where it came from. I mean, obviously pasta and cheese in some form came from Italy, but you see this in British cuisine, American cuisine, Caribbean cuisine. You see it kind of all over the place, and everyone seems to make it differently. Some people will add vegetables, some people add meat, some people bake it, some people don't. I love it in any form. But today I'm going to show you how I make mine, especially to give it that kind of vintage yellow shade. So normally in Scotland we have one brand called Marshall's that is pretty much the go-to for mac and cheese. But this is the only brand I could find in my closest shop. They look kind of smaller than the last time I bought them, but oh well. So this is the pasta we're going to be working with, actual macaroni. I know some countries call them elbow macaroni, but yes, this is what we're cooking with. My pot is heating up, hence why I'm talking so much. So this that you see in front of you are all of the ingredients that I basically ever put into my mac and cheese. Starting off with a basis of either butter and flour or margarine and flour. In this case, margarine is what I have. In the sauce, the end result tastes pretty much the same, and this is a bit more yellow, which is on brand for today. Make a kind of basic French style roux with this. Add some milk, add a couple of kinds of cheese, some seasoning, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce because I add it to pretty much everything. And that's it. Nothing super fancy. Some people might be offended by kind of the lack of seasoning or the lack of diversity in the cheese, but honestly, I've been making this for years and this is just the way I think it is best to my taste. The two kinds of cheeses I'm going to be using, typically I would just use kind of a mature and maybe an extra mature cheddar. This is the most mature I could find from my local shop, that's fine. So this is what you might call kind of mature white cheddar. And I have a kind of classic retro orange Orkney cheddar. So it's quite a mature one, but it will balance quite nicely with this one. So it's going to be very cheddar heavy, which is the way I like it. I'm a lover of all cheeses, but when it comes to mac and cheese, cheddar is just king for me personally. I'm also not a big fan of baking it. I'm very much a fan of your kind of stovetop mac and cheese. I'm not a huge fan of crispy cheese or having to wait an extra kind of 20 to 30 minutes to have pasta on my plate. I like it as fast as possible, basically. So that's what we're doing. Let's get into it. Look at that. Come faceva la nonna. Hey guys, I am absolutely stuffed with pasta now, so I think that is going to be all from me in today's yellow food video. Thank you guys so much for the suggestion and for watching, as always. I think this has been the most enjoyable one so far. Red and orange were okay, but I think this has been the most consistently delicious. You know, it's the first one I might even recommend. Let me know what color you guys would like to see me take on next. I'm thinking green and maybe something a little bit more challenging and spooky for Halloween, but let me know what you think. As always, if you guys are new here, do consider subscribing. I would love to have you here again, but until then, thank you for watching and I will see you for the next one.